Oh my God, my earrings. I have to at least have earrings on. There's 13 people. Bendiciones, bendiciones. My apologies. I should always be live and ready, but I don't know. I like just popping in when I'm ready and be like, hello, bendiciones, and welcome back to my channel. And okay, so last week, hold on, let me plug up my phone. Look at my phone case. Look how sad this is. This is, I need a new phone case and a new phone. Oh, for those who wonder what my screensaver is, it is of course Miss Riri when she was pregnant. Oh my God. Okay, so I said last week on my last, wait, was it last week? My last live, which I think was last week, I said I was going to do a shout out to anybody that read my bio and they commented. So I am going to go on my videos right now and I'm going to give those shout outs because it was so cute. Only 7 people commented last week. So shout outs. Yesenia Pagan. Yesenia Pagan. Maybe you pronounce it the Spanish way. But Vanessa or... Wait, Vanessa? Yeah. Vanessa Pagan. Mariah Lynn, LOL. That rave looks so bland. Nobody was dancing. Who just wants to bop their head? Girl, exactly. So, I think Yesenia, you're actually like my first like official shout out. And if you guys want me to keep up with this, sort of like hidden Easter egg in my bio so that you could be next live shout out, let me know. Also, an honorable mention to Alexandra Kinder. She also wrote I Love It, Mariah Lynn. And the first comment was from Janice Schaefer. So shout out to all those who participated in that cute little bio Easter egg. So just know, always read my bios, and while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything, and it lets YouTube know that maybe some other people want to see me. So if you love Mishi and you love me, then it don't cost you nothing to give your girl a thumbs up and support her channel. You know, I'm trying to build an empire. And this morning, déjame decirte una cosa. This morning was a learning opportunity, and I'm still continuing to take this as a learning opportunity. So, boom, mira que me pasó. Look what happened to me. I got a parking ticket. I got another parking ticket. And the first thing I do, como una tonta, because I'm all in it, and I realize sometimes you have to breathe. I'm all in the moment, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I have to realize that sometimes it just takes a moment for you to reset and to figure out your mind. Because I did a video and I wanted to be positive and optimistic about it, because people always ask me like, girl, how is it that you're always just having like a sunny disposition about things? And I'm like, I'm a human being too. Like, I get affected by it and I be like wanting to cry. I be wanting to cry and it's intense. Today's my day off and being too. So, good morning, Corey. So I just wanted this morning to be like a learning lesson, and I wanted to just like refocus my energy. And I shared a video where I was like, you know what? I'm really mad about this parking ticket, but I'm not going to dwell on it. And then automatically people instantly went to I feel like these are more outdoor hoops. This is more like, okay, she's una mujer de la casa. One of the House of Realness members gifted me these beautiful, beautiful earrings that I live for. I only pull them out on special occasions. They're bamboo hoop earrings and they're wrapped with this lovely fabric. See, looks better. It goes with the shirt. If you want to see a little OOTD, I got these windbreaker pants. I got this shirt. Oh, hold on. No, no, no. Come forward. No, a veces no me quedo aquí todo el tiempo. ¿Y cómo te va hoy? Me hace feliz. Sí. Como la conexión. Estoy en el cuarto porque estoy en el teléfono. So, te voy a dejar, pero todo está bien. Solamente hay que tocar cuando tú te vayas. Sorry. They had me over here because I am the, long story short, the maintenance. So, Deborah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You always come through, Deborah. Like, I can't wait to have like my first like meetup, or like I'm gonna go on tour. So I want to meet you, Deborah. There's so many of your like screens and your names that I see and I've gotten associated with, and I can't wait to meet you guys. Like I love meeting you in real life. Like every time I meet you in real life, I'll be wanting to ask y'all like, what do y'all think about me like in person now that y'all see me? So next time I see one of y'all in real life, don't be afraid to say hi to me. Come hug me. Don't be scared. And just yeah, it'll be cute. So my apologies. I had to step out and um I didn't even do my introduction. Hold on. Yummy Yessie. Yummy Yessie. Hold on. My bad, guys. I I forgot to do the introduction. So hold on 1 minute. We a one woman show here. Am I running it? Okay. Thank you, Yummy Yessie. The reason why it's important for me to do that little intro is because one, let me tell you something. How I got that intro was very interesting. Two, I worked really hard on setting those scenes up. And I'm using this app, not this app, but it's this program. And the program is called eCam Live. I'll show you an email correspondence that I had with them. So I have eCam Live. eCam Live is a thing on the computer that allows me to utilize the green screen. It allows me to see your comments. It allows me to set up scenes. And I thought that it was going to allow me to set up interviews. But sadly, when I tried to go live with Luna yesterday, I realized that I had to upgrade to like the highest price point, which was one, to pay for this program was out of my price range, but I wanted to really step my game up when it came to the podcast. And I know that this isn't like a traditional podcast. I literally just in mid-sentence decided to give you the intro because I forgot. And of course, definitely can use some more uniformity in the timing of when I go live. But Right now, I'm just going with the flow because I'm human and every single day changes. Just like today, I woke up, got a parking ticket, and I decided to do a video reclaiming my energy, reclaiming my time. And a lot of people had their opinions, and the common connective thread I saw, or the ones that stood out to me, were the comments like, "Oh, you're gonna get your car towed. What are you gonna do then? They're gonna put a boot on you." And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me breathe. Because now I'm thinking about the worst case scenario on top of the fact that I got a parking ticket. So sometimes, like that could be a lot. That could be a lot. You're like, okay, wow. Okay, I didn't even think about them towing my car. I didn't even think about them putting a boo. I didn't even think about this. Right now, I don't even know what to think about because I just woke up and I'm waking up to this. And that's a lot to wake up to. So I was just trying to like feel better about it. And I got down in the dumps. And then I said, you know what? Vamos echar pa'lante, like it says on the screen. That's another feature that I paid for. Okay, I paid for this feature. They trying to charge me $181.14 to upgrade to the feature on this Ecamm Live so that I can bring in guests and have like a split screen where I'm able to talk to another guest remotely. I had to call them. This is the people from Ecamm Live. So she's letting me know if I want to interview people, that's a pro feature and that's going to be 180. Let me read you the price again. She said $181.14 so that I can add somebody on this live. So it's a cute little coin. It's a cute little investment. So I you know, I made it happen. And look at the time. 11:11. Where is it? 11:11. So make a wish. I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart. Does anybody remember that show? What I think her name was Emmy and Max, and they would go to Dragon Tales. They would go to the dragon world, and they all had dragon friends. Yeah, but all jokes aside, you know what I envision? I envision myself all the time at the Savage X Fenty like show behind the scenes, like seeing the cameras and knowing that they're like, go, and I'm ready in lingerie. So yeah, side tangent. So I said I'm gonna reclaim my day. I'm going to go on live. I'm gonna do a cute little podcast. And I wanted to talk about this topic. This was a topic I actually wanted to talk about with Miss Luna. Excuse me, that was a hiccup. With Miss Luna. And I was supposed to go live with her yesterday, but we were unable to because, as you saw, Ecamm Live is trying to charge me $181.14 so that I can bring Miss Luna on. And I'm like, you wilding right there. That price is steep. That price is steep. So all I'm saying is I'm actually gonna meet up with Miss Luna Friday, and we're gonna like sit together and do a video because that's the cheaper way. Because ain't nobody got time to be paying $181.14 to play around with people like that. So we're gonna do it in person. So that video is coming. But I've been having this topic on my mind, and actually had a conversation with Miss Luna about this topic. If you've read the topic that I will be discussing today, it's trans advocacy and how that looks like to me. And I say that because I want to preface before I go into anything in this video. I want you to know that these are just my opinions and how I view things. And I am opening up the floor for anyone to add their part of the discussion. I think that I would like us to have created a space where we can have an open conversation where no one's feelings are hurt. No one has to come from a defensive place. And while we're at it, Dame garale agua florida. Sometimes you just need to change the energy, boo. Create a safe space. Create a safe space. So as I'm creating a safe space, I invite you guys to have this conversation with me and actually encourage you to have this conversation with me. But know that what I say and what comes out of my mouth is my opinion on how I view these topics that I will be discussing, that I'll be discussing. So know that I do not speak for a collective. I am not the face of the trans community. I think that's Dylan Muldaney. I think Dylan right now, argumentably, is, and if you don't know who Dylan is on TikTok, is a trans woman who I would say, argumentably, is the most celebrated trans woman in America. She's literally got to sit across the street. I mean, across the street, across from Joe Biden, like the president. Like, she got to meet the president. Not every not many trans women get that opportunity. But I digress. I do not speak for a whole community. I am not the face of the whole community. I am just me, solo, my heart, me, just me. So anything that comes out of my mouth is how I view this topic pertaining to me. So when we have this discussion, and as I repeat, I invite you to have this discussion with me. I want you to know that we will be discussing my viewpoints on this topic, not a collective. Because I've always found it very odd, and this is a part of trans advocacy that I have found odd, is this concept of one person or a couple of people that are up on top speaking for a whole collective when everyone is an individual. I always find it weird when someone is the face of a movement, because how can one face represent an entire community? So, in understanding the power of having a platform and being put on this sort of pedestal, my numbers may not be massive in the millions yet. But while I have you guys here, some may probably view me as their one experience that they have with a trans individual and feel like you have questions and curiosities and you want to ask because you feel comfortable with me. And as much as I want you guys to feel comfortable and feel free to ask, I also want to express and just voice what trans advocacy looks like to me, because the same way we're all individuals, in the same way Dylan Muldaney, I believe, Muldaney, I don't want to pronounce her name wrong, but Dylan on TikTok, and let's say Caitlyn Jenner, she's another celebrated, let's say Laverne Cox, let's say MJ Rodriguez, let's say Dominique Jackson, let's say all these numerous trans, women that are on these platforms and these pedestals. They're still all individuals, and it's not a one size fit all experience. And I always find that weird when people are curious about the trans experience and they ask people that are trans, say, in their life, and they ask about their experience as if that one's person opinion is going to answer a question for a whole entire community. For example, someone say, well, how did you know? And I'll be like, well, how did I know what? Well, how did you know that you were who you are? And I'm like, that's an interesting question. Not interesting because of the way you may think it's interesting, but interesting because whenever someone asks me a question about myself, I always ask myself, How would this question look like if I asked them this question right back? Would they feel awkward if I asked them that same question? So let's bring it back to that original question. When did you know who you are? And I'll ask myself, if I ask them, when did they know? What would be the answer? Why is it that why is it that why is it that that question even has to be directed towards me? Because to me, like, that question alienates a person. It singles them out. It pushes them outside of the norm and puts them on display as something other simply by just asking a question. And I understand that that is a concept that is not really touched on when it comes to trans advocacy. And I know that for the most part, trans advocacy tends to look like a question and answer, like a trans individual comes and shares their story and their experience, and based on their comfortability, they answer as many questions as they would like. And I've known um, many interviews where trans women were being interviewed, such as Carmen Carrera, who was on RuPaul's Drag Race. They would constantly ask about her genitalia. Another question that many may be curious about. When you see a trans individual, it's human nature to be curious. You're probably curious, I wonder what they have in between their legs. And for some trans individuals, they may not mind answering that question. And that could be a part of how they view trans advocacy. But as I stated in the beginning, it's not a one size fit all. If the face of the trans movement was Caitlyn Jenner, I'm pretty sure there would be a lot of people that would not agree with how they live their life, their viewpoints, their politics. So it's not a one size fit all. So for some, it may not be a problem to answer that question. And for some, it may trigger a lot. And I think that we've normalized the sexualization, and we've normalized trans individuals being fetishized, that we have normalized this expectation for trans individuals to have to explain their existence simply because we're boxed in this other category that excludes us from many conversations. And it's because of that alienation that oftentimes trans individuals lose their lives by senseless acts of hate, lose their lives because of trigger warning, suicide. Um, it's why so many trans individuals lose their families. It's why the life expectancy of an unhoused trans woman is 33. The life expectancy. I'm 32. Let that sit in. And that's what I want to speak on. And that's what trans advocacy looks like to me. It doesn't look like let me explain my genitalia, let me explain how this happened or when I knew or this. That to me is irrelevant. What is relevant to me is the normalization of the questioning of someone's validity as a human being. The question itself is coming from a place of privilege, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. If you are a heteronormative person, meaning that you identify with the gender you were born as, the anatomy that you were born with, you identify, you're like that, I'm a woman, I'm a man, boom, 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 that's it. Like, that comes from you're coming from a place of privilege. The fact that you can even ask a question that can instantly alienate another human being. You've now outed them simply because you were curious, simply because you wanted to know. Why? Why was this so important? Why is it that we're not taught to see the humanity and what actually is similar with each other rather than what divides us? Why is it that when you look at me, whether I'm trans or not, shouldn't take away from the fact that I'm a human being with skin, with blood, bones, lungs, a heart, everything that you have. I'm a human being right in front of you. So when you're curious about what's in between my legs, know that you come from a place of privilege, that you can even ask that question that can instantly alienate someone, that can instantly cause gender dysphoria, that can instantly put somebody in a place where they feel invalidated, they feel dehumanized. At some point, you have to take responsibility for how you show up in this world and how you decide to use your words, the power of words. You guys look at me and y'all say, oh my God, you're so sociable. You can start a conversation with everybody. You want to know why I can start a conversation with everybody? Because I stripped it down to the basics. When I look at any, whenever that may be. Am I still live? Something happened with my screen. Well, I say all this to say that I'm able to talk to anybody because I look at everybody as a human being. I don't care how you come or what package you're in. I don't care what circumstances you're in. I don't care about none of that. You're a human being. You are a human being. So for me, it's never a question of anything. It's never a question of anything. I see a human being who is worthy to be loved on. We all deserve love. We all want love. We all want it. How do you think we survive when we're babies? Can we take care of ourselves? No. We can't take care of ourselves. We're unable to do for ourselves. And what do we rely on? We rely on other people loving us enough to take care of us. Why is it that that concept is then lost when you become an adult? Why is that concept not like continuing? Trans advocacy doesn't look like me answering a million of invasive sexualized questions that alienate me, that make me feel like I am a human. I'm an alien wearing a human suit. I have gone through so much because of something that is so insignificant to who I am in my entirety. I am not the sum of a three-letter word, TRANS. I am more than that. I am so much more than that. That's so insignificant to everything that I have been. And what's so unfortunate is that because of that label, I have been forced to to endure situations and live in this world that does not treat me so kindly, as if I don't deserve love, as if I don't deserve to thrive and live, as if I don't deserve the right to be seen with someone, as if I don't deserve what anyone else deserves that's a human being. I always ask myself, whenever you want to ask a trans individual a question out of curiosity, ask yourself, what if this was somebody I love? What if this was my child? What if this was my mother? What if this was my sister, my brother, my uncle, my next door neighbor? It doesn't matter. What if this was another human being that I love so profoundly and a stranger asked a question about my friend or my loved one? How would I feel? Would that anger me? Would that make me feel protective? I'm not I'm not saying don't be curious about things. What I'm saying is, when you're curious about those things, before you ask a question out of curiosity, ask yourself, but why does it matter? Why does it matter when I know when this person knew who they are? There's so many people in this world that spend their whole entire lives not knowing who they are. You know that there's people that spend their whole entire lives living a life of unauthenticity, putting up a facade and act to make everyone else around them happy, but not really truly being themselves. People spend their whole entire life not knowing who they are. So, why does it matter when I knew who I am? Do you know who you are? When did you know? I can ask you that question too. And some may say, whoa, that's aggressive. But sometimes it takes having to have these uncomfortable conversations to point out the bad behavior and really just say, okay, what's the difference? What I have in between my leg? What is the difference when I knew or didn't know? I'm a woman. I am a woman, period. And I don't need anyone's validation on that. And I don't need to continue to subscribe to the culture that we've created, where we've normalized the alienation and the dehumanization of a human being with the power of our words. When I know the power of our words and how when you use those words to make connections, you see the power and you see when somebody, what's the greatest feeling in my life? And when I feel the most powerful, te lo juro, and I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you today, no matter how hard of a day you may be having, I want to encourage you to go outside and to start a conversation with somebody. Whether it be that you just give them a compliment, whether you say thank you, I want you to actually look at that person. And when you're looking at that person, I want you to say to yourself, this is another human being who has thoughts, who wants love, who goes through hard days, who probably have people that love and care about them. This is not just a stranger. This is another human being just like me. It don't matter how old they are, their race, their gender. None of that matters. This is a human being. And I want to acknowledge this human being. And I want them to know that I see them. And I promise you, when you make that your goal, so that when you have interactions with people and they see you, and they see you, and they feel seen by you, you see how a person lights up, how their demeanor changes, how their aura changes, how their energy changes. And that is so powerful to make me think that, I used to have really hard days when I was working in the food industry. And I will never forget the moment that this girl wrote me a letter on a napkin, and I still have it tucked away. She wrote me a letter on a napkin. She ordered a hot chocolate in a big mug. And she was like, "Does it come with the whipped cream?" I was like, "Yeah, it comes with the whipped cream." Put her and made a big nice cup of hot chocolate, made it with creamers instead of water, so it was creamy, did the whipped cream. And then I saw how excited she got when she was like, "Does it come with the whipped cream?" So I gave her a side bowl of whipped cream. A side bowl of whipped cream. And I put it on the table with her hot chocolate. At the end of the meal, I read the note that she left on the napkin, and she was saying how she had a really rough day, like a really, really hard day. And the fact that I brought her extra whipped cream without her having to ask really just brightened up her day. And I was like, wow. A bowl of whipped cream that didn't cost me nothing. Didn't cost me nothing. It didn't cost me anything to think ahead, to give her a little extra. Um, and that meant a lot to her. I want you to know that that's the power that you hold and the power of your words. And I encourage you to choose your words wisely and thoughtfully and impactful, because I say this all the time. Don't mean to put you on the spot, Corey. I think that you are a frequent person that is brought up on this channel, um, um, which is quite bold, but I digress. Um, Corey's always he's always thoughtful with his words and impactful with his words when he speaks. And I appreciate that. I do. And I appreciate when somebody knows that their words hold, like, that their words are powerful and how they choose them can make an impact. And I want you to know that you have that power too. So I don't know if I lost y'all, but I don't see any comments popping up. I open up the floor for you guys. How do you feel? I'm going to start reading some of your comments. Tracy said, "Good day, Michelle. I missed you so, so, so much. I love you, and I'm happy to see that beautiful smile." Thank you, Tracy. Erica Steele wrote, "Yes, girl, I refuse to live that way anymore." Which way? Okay, the chat has been kind of quiet, but there's only 21 people, so I'm not surprised. But I open up the floor to you guys. I want to hear what you think about what I said. What are your thoughts? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. Okay. Maybe I just don't have any service. I always worry if I have any service when I'm on live with you guys. Oh, that's all the way back there. Okay, no. We're up to date. So I'm still live. I guess you guys are quiet. Hopefully I answered all your questions. Hopefully I was able to bring a different perspective to the conversation. Hopefully it has made you think and look at it a bit differently. Um, and I'm interested to know what you think. What are your thoughts on it? Okay, Erica Steele said, I can't remember exactly what you were saying word for word anymore right now, but I just can't agree any wait, I just can't agree more that I won't give people power over me. As a cis, I've never had to think about how did I know because it was obvious. So it's not something I had to think about. So you made a really good point when you said that's well, how do you know? And when did I know, like, you made me really think about that, so I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Rach. I mean, thank you, April Rocha. I like that name, April Rocha. Thank you. Yeah. Oftentimes people don't think about like someone who's because that's the thing. Like, you don't know the experience. So you probably never been confronted with that question or never had the question reversed onto you and had to think about that and think about like, well, when does anybody know when you know? Did someone have to tell you you were a girl when you were a little girl? Like, was it? And I get that society enforces this like gender specific role of being, right? And we even created celebrations around it. I need y'all to know that we are living in capitalism, and they will always find a way to make money, and they will create holidays and celebrations. We do gender reveals. No tea, no shade. We do gender reveals. Why do we do gender reveals? If the gender really didn't matter, why do we do gender reveals? You want to know why? Because that lets us know, okay, if it's a girl, we can get her pink, we can get her dresses, we can get her dolls, we can get her peluches, we can get her girly things. And then if it's a boy, we can get him cars, we can get him blue, we can get him green, we can get him toys, action, whatever. We've we wrap everything solely around gender. So to me, I always wanted to ask, I guess, a cisgendered woman, like, when did you know you were a woman or a girl? Was it because you were raised with people telling you were a girl and giving you quote unquote girl things? Or did you know within yourself that you're a girl? Because that's an interesting question to think. Do you did you know that you were a girl because people told you you were a girl and gave you girly things? Or or was there a moment in your life where you're like, no, I'm a woman, and you realize that yourself? Or was it just something that you never even thought about? So the questions can go both ways, but we're not often talking about it in reverse. We're so used to trans individuals having to answer the questions, but not the counterpart having to answer those same questions. So it brings up an interesting question. I'm going to read the next comment. Pluie P wrote, I've been around for a while. It's been amazing to watch your growth and healing journey. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this topic. Lots to consider. You said April Rocha. Thank you for being open and vulnerable to the conversation. I do often feel like I'm a boy inside, but I love my woman appearance. And you know what? you will be surprised by how many cisgendered women that I have met in my life that would share that same sentiment with you. And oftentimes it's because they feel so pigeonholed and shackled down by the pressure of having to be a woman and what society deems is womanly and expected of them as women, that they don't want to associate with femininity, if that makes any sense. Hopefully, I was able to articulate the concept that I was trying to make. It's like almost like they're so tired of what people expect them to be as a woman that they don't even feel like they don't even want to. It's, it is, I'm telling you, it is a doozy. But that's the thing. We're not having these type of conversations. And I appreciate you, April, for sharing that and being open about that. Erica Steele says, so true about the expectations of women and not wanting to associate with femininity. Let's dig deeper. If y'all will allow me to we've created this safe space. April, I appreciate you. Erica, I appreciate you. If you allow me, let's dig a little deeper. Femininity has always been preyed upon. To be feminine oftentimes leaves you vulnerable. And oftentimes, women living in their femininity are victims of predatory behavior because we are taught as a society to constantly sexualize femininity. And women that were sexualized so much so that it leaves us open to predatory behaviors that have gone on unchecked for too long. And oftentimes women are victims because of it. So it's not safe to be woman. It's not safe to be anybody, but it's not safe to thrive in feminine energy and be feminine. It leaves you open to predatory behavior because femininity is sexualized so much. Why don't we normalize sexualizing men? Why is it that, like, it's always the woman's body and how she decides to display it that's so policed, you know? It's so policed. It's almost like you have to be solely responsible for your demurity and what that means in this world. And if you dare be anything than the proper woman or the image of that, then if something happens to you, you asked for it. You knew what you were doing. You were showing your body. But a guy can walk out in these streets topless and nothing is done about it. But a woman does the same. And it's like, how dare she? I can't believe she have her breast out. Can't believe she has her breast out. There's such a massive debate about women breastfeeding in public because of the sexualization of the woman's body, even in its most natural state. When it's feeding a child, people will still sexualize a woman's body. So it's crazy and it's baffling, but we've normalized it. We've completely normalized this terrible behavior. And That's the pressure that women often feel. I can only speak for myself, but I feel it. Let's see what Erica Steele wrote. My sister struggled with her gender, 1980 born. Sadly, she passed away at 22. I know in a different time she would have transitioned. Erica said truth, and then she followed up with, I love how Billie Eilish wore all her baggy clothes and ish. But of course, the moment she turned 18, she started showing her body. People are allowed to evolve and change. But all I'm saying is that like the wound goes deeper. It goes deeper, and I think that what I want people to understand is that like trans women are women because we're all different. We're not all supposed to be the same. But when you identify as a woman, we all feel the weight of society's expectations that come with that title. And like I think it was Erica that said um you don't want to be associated with that like femininity, or I think it was, hold on, let me go back to the comments. I want to read the comment properly. Erica said, it's so true about expectations of women and not wanting to associate with femininity. Um, so yeah, it goes deeper. So I think that applying this label of trans and all the weight that comes with it and all the trauma that comes with it and everything that is associated with it, um, it alienates a sisterhood that truly we all have something to contribute to the conversation, and I wish that we can all break bread together and really come to a place where it's not just solely tied to biology. I can only speak for me personally. I'm not battling the battle of biology, and I'm using that word very loosely because people can get sensitive. But I don't have a uterus. To keep it totally transparent, I don't have a uterus. And I understand that there are women that do have uteruses. And there's women such as myself that don't. And there's so does that make me any less of a woman? People all have their own opinions about that and they're entitled to their opinions, but evidently it's up to me to decide what validates me. So, like I said, it's not a one size fit all. It really is not a one size fit all situation. But I don't think that not having a uterus makes me any less of a woman and makes me any less qualified to have conversations with any other woman in this world, because we all feel the social pressures under that label, no matter what becomes in front of it. Because when we really break it down, you could break that down. You could break womanhood down in so many sectors. Being a black woman, being an Asian woman, being a white woman, even being a trans woman, being an overweight woman, being a petite woman, being a tall woman, being a short woman. The list can go on and on and on. If you want to focus on what divides us, you can find a million things to categorize women. But at the end of the day, do those categories make them any less of a woman? Or is it just labels that we like to slap onto things so that we can put it in a system of hierarchy? You see what I'm saying? It's a complicated concept and conversation, and I'm glad that we were able to start that conversation today. And if you guys would like me to continue talking about this, or you want time to think about this and then later on you ask questions, I could do another Q&A about this. We can go deeper into it. We can take this wherever you want to go. This podcast, I want it to be an interactive conversation between me and you. Wait, you feel it, you live it, you are a woman. Adelina Torres. Ooh, I hope I say your name right. Adelidia? Adelidia. Is it Adelidia or Adelidia? Wait, I said the same thing twice. Sorry. Adelidia Torres. I need to ask this man if he needs help with something. Because he's been struggling with that toilet for a little bit. I'm here because the maintenance people had to come and fix the toilet. ¿Todo está bien? Oh no. ¿Qué pasó? Okay. No, está bien, coge tu tiempo. Love you, girl, and all your content. Aw. Thank you, boo. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for spending time with me. I'm actually gonna go to the supermarket right now. Tengo hambre. Tengo hambre. What am I gonna make? It's what time? It's 11:57. What do you think I should make? It's 11:57. So 12 o'clock. I gotta go to school at 5. Ooh, I want to take a nap by like at least 2 o'clock. I deserve a nap. I didn't sleep last night. Oh my God, I didn't sleep last night. What should I make to eat? It needs to be something easy and filling. So not just avocado toast. It needs to be filling. Because I'm not going to eat until after I get out of school. I don't want to go to Trader Joe's. I don't know why I jumped like that. Sorry, I feel like April Rocha wrote, I love how you break it all down. Oh. Oh. Oh my God, April. I just found out that I can add your comments and I can highlight it. Do y'all see April's comments on the screen? Hold on, let me. Oh my. April, look. Are y'all looking at this? This is blowing my mind. I could put some of y'all comments on the screen. Oh my. Look at that. Everyone thumbs up before she bounced. Oh my God. That just blew my mind. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That just blew my mind. Oh, you feel special? That just blew my mind. All right. All right, guys. Until next time, don't forget, echa pa'lante, and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat. What do I want to eat? A waffle? I keep on thinking about chicken and waffles. Because that's what I want chicken and waffles. Don't make fun of the way I say waffles. Waffle. And a waffle is not going to be filling. Damn, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I'm going to have to figure it out. So until next time.